Good morning, guys. Can you hear me? Excellent. I couldn't tell if I was live or not. It didn't go like I remembered it last time. As long as can everybody hear me okay? Dean, can you hear me? Well, thanks, Carkey. I'm glad you made it. Okay, excellent. Yeah, the kitty got down. He wanted up here to see what I was doing, but he was really looking to see if I had anything to eat. That's mostly what he's interested in, unless he's ready to take a nap. Hey, Tina. Hey, Disnoa. Carkey. That's okay if you listen. I'll have to find you later anyway if I need to go to the store. How is everybody this morning? I don't know. I'm still not doing something right here. Now, I'm backstage and in front stage, so I'm trying to figure that out. Well, Tina, you don't have to know first thing in the morning. I usually wait till around maybe noon, start figuring things out. Anybody in here baseball fan? I mean, you don't have to be, but I was gonna mention that Hank Aaron died yesterday, who was a he was a I was a fan of his, I guess what I'm trying to say. I was growing up when he broke Babe Ruth's records, and I got to go see him play a few times. He was quite the ball player and a really great person, from what I can tell. Well, that's a good point, Tina, because he had some people weren't fans. He had a lot of hate mail and death threats and you name it, stuff I never believed at the time. I actually heard two uncles of mine make comments to the fact that he shouldn't be allowed to break Babe Ruth's record, which was very sad for me. I got to see him hit a couple of his record home runs, but Not the one where he actually broke the record, but I think I want to say it was around 700 that I got to see. I don't know if anybody's seen any news footage about his passing, but they show a video when he was running around the bases on that final home run. And two guys ran out of the stands and were chasing him around the bases. And at the time, he reported later that at the time he had no idea who they were. He actually thought they were maybe coming to get him, and he ran on around, scored his run, but he didn't know who they were, and he came to find out later they were just two overzealous fans that decided to come out and greet him, pat him on the back. Hey, buddy. Had to pour a little more coffee there. Excuse me. What? Anybody else got on their mind this morning? What? Dean, hopefully that won't happen. But you never can tell, so I'd be aware all the time. If it gets too bad, you may have to have an armed guard. Yeah, I'd say you'd fight over those turkey legs. Have you ever seen any wild turkeys around your area, Dean? Florida turkeys are a subspecies of. They actually have longer legs than most turkeys. I don't know if they have more meat on them though. Might have a bigger handle. Well, Dean, I'll stand there and fight with you. I'll defend your right to have all the turkey legs. Well, let me see here. I didn't have any particular topic to discuss today, just in general. I wanted to mention the Hank Aaron thing, and pretty much I'm open to any conversation we want to have. I don't know if you can see the flag behind me, the one with stars on it. I actually got that sort of in honor of Bill from Magic of the Mouse. I've seen turkeys on Disney property, In fact, they were over more or less in front of the Polynesian, but out past the parking lots. They're called Osceola subspecies of wild turkey. I'll have to go watch her video if she's had them inside the building. I figured since they're swamp turkeys, it's probably why they evolved to have longer legs. Anyway, the flag, I got Bill Magic of the Mouse made my screen. I can't think of the name of it for the show. And so I was looking around and I found this flag, and it's for the Whiskey Rebellion of the 1790s. And I figured that was apropos. This was one of the few, this is a copy of one of the few remaining flags from that time. And this flag was found or used to be in a tavern inn in Pennsylvania. Yeah, my thumbnail, Dean. Thank you. I couldn't think of thumbnail to save me. So anyway, I thought I'd hang that up back there for coffee time. I'm trying out some new coffee today. It kind of fits my cup. The Pirates of the Caribbean cup my daughter gave me for Christmas. The coffee's called Death Wish Coffee. And they have a skull and crossbones type logo. So if I can get a flag of there, they've got flag or had flags. If I can find one, I may put it up in the future. So far, it's pretty good. I would invite somebody in, but I don't know how to do that in YouTube. So next time I'll probably be on StreamYards, and hopefully I'll invite a couple of guests in or something. So Dean, you got a trip back to Disney planned anytime soon? Hopefully I'm still working. I started my physical therapy this week. Some of you or most of you know I've had some back issues, and oh really? Is this something new besides annual passes, Dean? James Ryan, good morning, sir. Good to see you. And Tina. Hi, Tina. Anyway, I was going to say I started therapy seriously this week, and they started really working me. So I've been kind of sore all week. I'm catching up. That's right, James. It's always good to start with Tina's smiling face. Both Tinas, or two Tinas. So, James, what are you into this morning? You got snow up your way still? All the Tinas, that's right. I know where some of you are from, but put in the chat where you're from, just to give an idea of where people are from. Yeah, we're in the 30s, I think today is about all we're going to get. Well, that's pretty good, Dean. So, is that what they're going to replace the annual passes with? I really hate that they're doing that. I guess I understand some of it, but I don't understand all of it. Although I've read and heard that in California they've been trying to do that for some time, actually. Ah, Mr. Ron, are you going to be there the 5th or 6th? I can't wait to go back. It's been too long since I've been down. Somebody used to go 2 or 3 times a year to not going. It's kind of rough. That's back before I knew all the people in this great, wonderful community that go all the time. Well, I can appreciate that, James. It's supposed to get colder here before the week's over, I think. But I doubt we'll get any snow. Well, you'd think that would be something they'd be trying to do. Because, even at Disneyland, where they say it's mostly a local crowd, people, even if they've got a one-time ticket or, buy a ticket once a year, they buy a lot of merch and food. And I mean, I've always heard that the Disneyland crowds usually buy more merch than they do in Florida. How's that working for you, James? I know you've had it. I think you've had annual passes. Oh, that'd be nice. I'd like to be down there to meet some of those folks. Good morning, Shelley Scott Star Walker. How are you doing this morning? Is Michigan getting a big winter blast today? It seems like I heard something about that this morning on the news. Ah, well, that's good, James. I just didn't know if they'd said, if you'd heard, when they were going to be available, or maybe because you're DVC, maybe it won't affect you either way. No flakes down this way, Shelley. You can send some down if you'd like. I wouldn't mind having a big snow. We had a white Christmas this year for the first time in at least 20 years, I think. Tina, I thought I'd heard that too, but I just wasn't sure if that was still, if they'd announced anything else. So after they announced the Disneyland annual pass going away, I didn't know if they'd changed anything in Florida. Well, I think that's what James, I guess that's what I was thinking about. Annual pass holders can renew, but there's no new ones. And I just wonder if they'd say anything about that. Well, I live in Tennessee. Well, no different. James lives further up. And we started buying annual passes because we could go down multiple times a year, and it seemed like a good deal at the time. We could go down and get a hotel room. We already had our passes, park passes, so of course they were less expensive like back then too. There was a time when we were seriously looking at buying into DVC, but then I got laid off, and so I didn't do that. Now I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it now or not. Well, Shelly, I hope that happens because I'm sure you'll do a good job of that. I've been impressed with your photography. For somebody who's only been shooting for a couple of years, you're very talented. Do you have a macro set up for that, your camera? It's not sweet, Shelly. It's true. I've looked at a lot of photographs in my life, and yours are as good as most I've ever seen. I spent a lot of time in dark rooms when I was younger. mostly shot black and white back then. Of course, it was film. It was before digital. Dark rooms are probably almost a thing of the past now. Magic of the Mouse, Mr. Bill, welcome. See the flag behind me? That was sort of in your honor. That's a Whiskey Rebellion flag. Well, James, that's the way I looked at it too. If we were going to be going down several times, or it was almost the other way around. I figured if we bought them, we could go several times a year. And there was the discounts that were involved and that sort of stuff. Anybody else in here remember when you could? I think it was just, I don't know if it was called the Magic Kingdom Club, or you could buy into that, or a lot of times employers had it as a benefit, and you could get discounts and go to the parks and get room rate changes. And we belonged to that a long time ago. I know in the 80s it was around. In the early 90s. See, James, I'm showing my age. Thank you, James, for posting that link. Yeah, if you've not looked at Shelley's work, go take a look. Well, Bill, I thought you'd appreciate that. That's why I made sure I hung it up this morning. I was waiting to see if you'd be here, Bill. I heard somebody in Maryland won that big Powerball, so I was waiting for you to give me a call and offer me a position or something. How long did you do that, James? That isn't. I mean, I knew that you've mentioned it before, but did you ever see Hank Aaron play, James or Bill? Oh, Merlin, that'd be cool. We don't get those down this way. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Good morning, Mr. Mike Wheeler. Well, Mickey Mantle was certainly a star, that's for sure. I don't think I ever saw him live. I don't think games I ever went to pro or Atlanta games, and they didn't play the Yankees. I'm not sure if he was still playing when we started going to games. That was all back before the interleague stuff started. Oh, you did, Bill? I didn't realize that. I think Triple P may have he's been real busy. I've not heard much out of him either at all. Yes, that's true. I don't want to forget that Tina is also a photographer. Good, very good. I've seen some of her stuff. It's really nice too. Most of the games, my parents used to always go to Atlanta Braves games several times a year. After I was older and moved out and away, and my brother was gone, they went fairly often. But we went in the late '60s and watched them play, and I got to see Hank Aaron hit some home runs right when he was working up to beating Babe Ruth's record. Oh, Larry King died today. I hadn't heard that yet. I think I knew he'd been sick. Yeah, he did, James. I'm not sure what all he did before he was on. Was it CNN mostly, or his talk shows? I'm not sure. Well, good morning, Miss Sherbick. Who you calling grumpy this morning? You hadn't had any talk to me to know. I've already bitched and moaned, pardon me, about how sore I am from therapy. I am now officially honored. I've got Miss Leanne in here. Yeah, I just saw you. If anybody's interested in Tim Pruitt merch, that you can buy these at the Duluth Trading Official Green, Tim Pruitt Official Green. And I don't put my name on them or anything, so you can wear them for any occasion. Nah, Grumpy's probably right. I always thought I should get me one of those Grumpy dwarf T-shirts. I've been called worse things. I plan on doing that, Bill. have no worries. Although I've got to go get another bottle or a jar of that moonshine because it's too good. But I'm cranky with a smile, Leanne. I mean, that counts for something. Okay, I started. Maybe you guys posted and I missed it, so I apologize. But where's everybody from? I know James is either in New Hampshire or New York. I think Leanne's in Indiana. Dean's in Florida. Where's everybody else from? Well, Tina, moonshine can be an acquired taste, or there's really good stuff and there's not so good stuff. I used to know an old fellow that had friends that actually brewed and run moonshine, and they had some special stuff. Bill's, that's right. I thought Bill was in Baltimore. Well, who's in Baltimore? Oh, Pete's in Baltimore. That's right. Or Bill is New England or New Jersey. Well, now it's you were at work. No, that wouldn't be good. That's no, I wouldn't advise that. Ah, Leanne. I guess that's where that Jersey Devil comes from. Well, good, Carkey. Welcome back in, or Carol, I should say. That makes you a native, Mike. That does make you kind of a rare breed these days. I used to know a couple of native Floridians too. They're several generations back. They were getting rare even back then. Oh, Bill, that'd be pretty good. I may have to try that. It'd be a hillbilly version of peppermint schnapps, maybe. Sorry, guys. I keep tapping my fingernails, not realizing the microphone's picking it up. And of course, a lot of people put fruit in it these days, but I've never thought about the mint. Be another good reason to try it because I do love peppermint. Pour a little extra coffee there. Ah, so Tina's in New York too. Both Tinas are from New York or in New York. But Tina, you weren't originally New York, right? You got a Boston accent. Well, James, I don't know if I know the definition exactly. Hey, good morning, Lynn. There, folks, we're honored with the Lynn Project this morning. I guess I am, Mike. Maybe I didn't know. I wasn't thinking about Dolly doing it, but I guess I am. You know, Dolly's kind of a local celebrity around here. Well, she is a celebrity, but you know what I mean. She's local. Lynn, I'm not sure I'm doing coffee and contemplation a good service, but I'm giving it a try anyway. Well, Leanne, I hope you make it. I used to think I'd like to go to Florida, and then I don't know if I can stand the heat anymore. It's bad enough here in Tennessee. And where I live, we're kind of down in the valley. I'm not actually up in the mountains, so a couple thousand feet up on the mountain, and it cools off. It's not so bad, but See, Shelley Carkey agrees. Carol agrees. Oh, bless your heart, Lynn. I'm sure you're probably freezing to death this morning. Just think, you left warm and sunny Michigan for that 66-degree winter weather. I'll have to send you a pair of gloves then. Lynn, I'm sure I can dig up a pair here somewhere. Would you like them heated or just regular? I have a pair of heated gloves I wear on my motorcycle, but you got to figure in the wind chill factor when you're riding a bike. I think the coldest I ever rode was 9 degrees to work a few mornings. Oh, yes, they sure do have heated gloves. Motorcycle people have been wearing heated clothing for a long time. I'm sure snowmobile people too. I know they make heated face guards for snowmobile helmets. I missed something there. I have to back up here and look. Okay, I caught up, I think. You ought to know if you come into this crowd and start being cold at 66, you're going to catch some crap. But I know what you mean. It does feel colder in Florida. There's no two ways around it. Well, that's a bit chilly, Bill. That might be. Now, I will have to say that when I was a teenager, I rode when it was around zero. We had a winter where it stayed near zero for almost a month. And I was delivering newspapers, and I had to ride my motorcycle some then. I wasn't counting that because it's been so long ago. Back then, you were 16 or 17, you're immortal. So, yeah, Leanne, humidity has a lot to do with it. The fact that the wind blows just about all the time, a little bit anyway. You'd think, though, as hot as it gets in Florida, that all that sand would soak up all those rays of sunlight and they'd stay warm at least half the winter. Oh, yes, I did, James Ryan. I did that for about 3 years. I bought and paid for two motorcycles that way. Oh, and a car. Well, maybe not all the car, because I did eventually get another part-time job. But my mom and dad weren't going to buy me a motorcycle, but they said if I got a job Bought it myself. I could do it. I don't know if they thought I would or not, but I did. Most of my newspapers went in paper boxes along the road, kind of like a mailbox, but just for the paper. Maybe I should back up a minute and clarify that. What do you mean delivered newspapers from a motorcycle? What'd be what's the unbelievable part of that? Bill, that's about what it is here this morning, I think. Well, it's up to 37 now, so. That's one thing about here in Florida. It gets really hot and humid here, but the sun in Florida is definitely more intense than it is up here. All right, Shelly, goodbye. Have a good day, and thanks for dropping in. We got about 10 or 11 minutes. I don't want to stay too long. I know there's other people on this morning, and I don't want to get too many people's way. They're much more established than I am. Well, living down there all your life, Mike, I can kind of see that for you. But between me and you, Lynn's from Michigan, and it's colder than hell up there. I see you later, Leanne. Take care of the pupper. Love you too. Behave. If you can't behave, don't get caught. Okay, well if that works, Lynn, that's good. Tough without crying. Oh my. Well, you'd have to be careful crying in that 60-degree weather. Tears will freeze on your cheeks. Hey, Tracy Glenn, good morning. Well, you know what they say, better late than never. How's Tracy today? What have you been into this morning? Ah, okay. That's not bad coffee. I'll have to drink some more of that. Although they say it's got twice the caffeine in it everything else has got, so I'll see how much I buzz today. No, Tracy, I wanted to, but I've set it up for next week or next time I'm on, and gonna try that. But I didn't want to take a chance on screwing it up this morning. But I need to do that. I need to talk to some of you folks that have done it, so I'm not quite such a. I'm a pretty raw rookie, so I am drinking something called Death Wish coffee, Lynn. Yeah, do that, Tracy. In fact, I'll send you my phone number if you ever want. Maybe we can talk on the phone or something. Yeah, Lynn, Death Wish. I just found it. Actually, found it online, and then found out Kroger's had it locally, so I bought a bag to try. It's pretty good so far. I need to tweak my brewing just a little bit. I'm probably gonna start. I, I'm sorry. I always thought I was a bit of a coffee snob because I grind my own beans and stuff. But I think now I'm going to even start doing a little different. I'm going to start doing pour overs so I can control the temperature. Alton Brown always said you weren't supposed to let the water boil, actually. Yeah, James, I know, but they've got a real catchy flag. It's skull and crossbones. Thanks, Lynn. I may need that. I don't know. We'll see later today. I used to drink about 2 pots a day when I was working, but this has got supposedly has more caffeine, so I probably wouldn't drink as much. But when I was still working, I carried a thermos of coffee with me everywhere I went. Everybody I knew just always looked for my coffee jug. If I had the bag downstairs here, I'd show you the bag and the logo on the bag. They've got a pretty big website, so it's strong, but it's not bitter. It's I'll tell you, see, I never really liked Starbucks coffee because I thought it was always bitter. But this isn't so bad. Thanks, Dean, for coming by, buddy. I'm glad you had time to stop in, and have a good day. Hope you get down to maybe you'll get down to Disney World and see James when you're down there. And watch out for those turkey leg thieves. Let us know if you run into problems. We'll form a security squad. Yeah, it really can, Tracy. I'll agree with that. Okay, Mike, what's the slide challenge? Given that it's Jeff, I'm thinking it may be afraid to ask. You get them. You get them, Dean. Bye bye. And thanks, Mike, for reminding. That's why I didn't want to stay on too long. If I get to doing this more often, I need to make sure my times aren't going to interfere. I'm the newbie here. I don't want to be stepping on toes. Oh, Mike, I didn't realize that. I'll have to watch that. I don't know if I'd challenge Joey to something like that. Joey's he's a tough nut to crack. He's pretty competitive. You know, when I lived in Florida, I thought one of the greatest things I ever did was swim at Thanksgiving. We just thought that was because when I grew up here, the pools always closed at Labor Day. So we were in Florida and swimming at Thanksgiving, making fun of all the people back home. Well, Jeff trying to make up for losing the Oreo eating challenge. What time is it? Can't see my clock. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. All right, folks. I guess we better be getting off here. I appreciate everybody coming by this morning. I've really enjoyed talking to everybody. And I promise if you come back again, I'll have a little bit more to talk about so I don't bore everybody or let everybody sit around and get bored. So, and hopefully, if I'm on StreamYards, I'll be able to invite some folks in to talk. Oh, thanks, Noah. I appreciate that. Me thanks you're too kind, but I appreciate it. Thanks, Carol. You have a good weekend. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready to shut this down. So if I can figure out how to do that. Oh, yeah. Anyway, have a good weekend. Thanks for coming by. It's been a fun Saturday morning. Talk to most of you later. See you later in another stream. So have a good weekend, everybody. Goodbye.